I'm Alicia.
And I'm Liam. We both have OCD, and instead of spiraling alone, we decided to turn our symptoms into a podcast. You're welcome.
Here, we overshare real stories, laugh through the anxiety, and talk to actual experts who can explain why your brain keeps asking, what if I accidentally marry my cousin?
Whether your thing is hand washing, mental rituals, or just silently panicking during normal conversations, congrats. You have found your people.
This is a safe place, unless you're an intrusive thought, in which case, get in line, buddy. We're booked.
So grab a weighted blanket, cancel your plans for the 5th time, and let's dive in. This is the OCD Confessional.
And yes, we did check this recording 4 times before uploading it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the OCD Confessional. I'm Alicia, obviously, and we have Liam here. Say hi, Liam.
Hi.
Today's episode is going to be a little different. You know, we've obviously had amazing people on, storytellers, advocates, clinicians, but we thought we would sit down and ask each other some more personal questions. Although we have gotten pretty deep over the last 10 episodes.
This is more like boxers or briefs.
Yeah, exactly. And since you brought it up, are you a boxers or briefs?
I boxer briefs. See, we kind of split the difference. No chance I'm wearing tighty whities. My dad wore those, and they horrified me as a kid when he would come in.
Same. Like, he thought that it was appropriate with 2 daughters to walk around in his whitey tighties and like sit on the couch. I'd bring friends over, and my dad would be sitting there in his whitey tighties and not even move. I'm like, Dad, like, ew, go away, put some pants on. You know, whether you've been listening since the beginning or you're brand new, this is just an episode and a chance to connect, to remind you that you're not alone. There are real people on the other side of these microphones, and we're just trying to figure it out alongside you. So we'll share some more serious things, some funny moments, I don't know, whatever comes up. So Liam came up with his own questions for me. I have set aside some for him. It's been a crazy week, and normally I would like to sit down and like think about these answers, but you guys are just going to get them on the fly. So
that's the best way. You know, that's authentic, organic. We're not having to think about it too much.
You go first.
Okay.
You ask me. Okay.
This question is so self-serving, but I love it. What surprised you most about me when we started this podcast together? Keep in mind, I'm probably seeking reassurance in asking this question.
How incredibly smart you are. How committed to growing out this beard you have going on. You guys can't see, but this is new. What's the reasoning behind the beard, Liam? Is it cold? You gotta get some body warmth with the body hair?
It's cold here. Also, I just have seen a lot of like good looking beards in television shows recently. And I think I just was like, 1, I'm lazy and I hate shaving. 2, I think my wife is going to be attracted to this. And I don't know if that's true. I can check. Doll, do you like the beard? This thick or is it too thick? She likes it.
I mean, we all know Leah did not approve of the mustache. I liked the mustache. Spencer liked the mustache.
I had a mustache not long ago. Now, it was a mustache with a 5 o'clock shadow, which I really like that look. Spencer rocks that sometimes. Mm-hmm. And she came into the bathroom, and I kind of knew that she wasn't going to like it, but she said, that is disgusting. Get that off your face.
How long did you ruminate on that exact word? Disgusting.
Yeah,
exactly. You thought about that for a minute, huh?
Yeah, she just corrected me and said she told me to fix my face. So,
oh man, the brutal honesty of marriage. So does that mean it's never coming back?
It depends on how angry I might be at her in a given moment. You know, I feel like I could use it. I could weaponize the mustache.
That's amazing. I don't think I actually answered your question because I don't know that you've surprised me a whole lot. I feel like I had a good idea of who you were going into this. Maybe you surprised me by being the amazingly sweet, considerate person that I thought you were going into this.
Like it's even better. I was even
It's
better than you
even
thought.
better. Leo, yes. You've been such a good friend. You guys we keep in touch throughout, when we're not on this, and I'll text him when I'm having a bad day or a moment, and you've just been such a good friend to me and understanding. And yeah, I think I'm just surprised by how you are who we think you are.
The best part about what you just said, as sweet as it is, I can't accept that. So I'm
So
working on I'm working on it. I'm working on
we know,
accepting that
Liam, you
compliment.
don't accept anything good about anything about yourself that we have to say, but we're still gonna say it. And everyone agrees with
Oh.
me. I know they do. Although there was that one DM I got where it was like, I can't believe you do that podcast with him. He's so annoying. I didn't share that with you.
I hope that's real, because then that one I would like. That one I would believe. That would be the only one. You could have 100 that would say he's the best. I love him. Oh my God, what a dilf. I wouldn't accept any of it. And then the one that's like that guy's a piece of shit, I'd be like, that he's right. He's on to something.
But guess what? You'll never know if it came or not. You'll have to sit with that.
Oh my
All right,
God.
I'm gonna flip the
What?
question on to you, bro. What
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What surprised me about Alicia? I mean, there have been a few things because I've gotten to, obviously the backstory to this podcast is that you and I were on a trip together to South America, and we were both there for work, different purposes, but there for work. And we were at a dinner, and you were talking with your husband and my wife and me about some of your anxieties and stuff. And I thought to myself, I think this woman has OCD and doesn't know it. And then that started the conversation and started you on the path to discovering indeed that's the case. And then
Mhm.
months and months later, we decided to do this together. And so I think one of the things that surprised me about you is that you're very put together. You're an actress and a model. It's no news that you're a very attractive person. You carry yourself with confidence and you're charming. You're very funny. And then when you learn that like behind all of that is someone who is really struggling with anxiety and has been for most of her life and with
Mhm.
OCD, it's always a little surprising. I think, people have said that to me before too. I mean, even close friends have been like, wait, what? When I told them
Mhm.
what was going on with me or that I was in a period of a bad time in my life, people will be
Yeah.
surprised by it. And I think it's a great lesson in understanding that regardless of how someone may present themselves or how they may appear to you at first, there could be something going on with them. And that's why it's always nice to approach people with grace and we've all got our shit. As put
Mhm.
together as someone might be, or as successful seeming, or as happy seeming, you never really know. And
So what you're saying is I've done a really good job at fooling everybody.
it's all a front. It's
I'm not
all a
as
front.
confident as I seem, guys. All the looks and all the work, all the work that has gone into my looks is just a front. It's just a big old front. Actually not wrong. No. I will say you brought that to my attention, I think in a different episode that we did on how you learned how incredibly hard I am on myself. And I think that comes in waves for sure. And I'm trying to figure out like what exactly influences that. And I don't know that I have an answer. I think there's not a lot of room for just human error. There's
Hmm.
not, and that is my OCD. It was like if one small thing was not perfect, it meant everything was failing. And I think, a lot, there has been a lot of emphasis on my image, and I put myself in this industry that judges me for it. So that hasn't helped my OCD. I think the more I learn about the disorder, I'm just learning a lot about how I operate and how hard I am on myself but where it comes from. And the story behind it and why is there this strong need for perfection.
That's such a hallmark of OCD, that black and white thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like that, what you just said about if you do one thing wrong, then it means something about everything. And that extreme thinking is So OCD.
We did one episode, which Liam really wants to share this. We may or may not. I don't know, you guys. It's embarrassing for some reason. I don't want to share it, but he's going to end up sharing it anyway. And the lighting was so bad. I could not let it go. And he was just sitting back enjoying the entertainment of me losing it. And I I think those are those moments maybe you're referring to that surprise you about me is like, yeah, I like things a certain way because I've attached meaning to it. And if it doesn't go that way, then it means XYZ. And I think um, really understanding that a go with the flow type mentality is hard for me, but something that I strive to be more like. And that's why I married my husband. One of the reasons I married my husband is because he is that person. He is that role model for me. He sets the example of what it means to live in a just in that uncertainty and in every way, right? Like I should be able to record a podcast if the light isn't perfect, but I couldn't. I refuse.
We have to share that episode for exactly that reason. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay,
I'll see if
okay.
I can. I'll see if I can get it past the goalie. Um, Actually, along those lines, what is the most ridiculous OCD thought you've ever had?
I can only pick one.
It can be more than one.
I think I talked to you about this, about how I feel like there's a crime I committed out there that I that somehow is going to send me to prison, and they're going to knock on my door and be like, "You," I don't even want to say it, but did something just crazy, and you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison, or that I'm wrongfully accused. Like, could you imagine that? Or that I get hired for a job. And so I go through the audition process. I go to a callback. So clearly they've seen me now twice, okay? And when you are in a callback, you're usually in the room with the directors, the producers, sometimes the ad agency. It could be 10, 15 people. You book the job. Let's say it starts out with 2,000 people. You go to a callback. Now you're down to 20, whatever it is. So you've earned your spot is what I'm saying. And you get to set. I think they all are like going to be completely disappointed and shocked at who they hired. And I am going to show up and they're going to be like, "You are not what we thought. You need to go home." That one actually comes up quite a bit. And I'm like, I'll ask Spence, I'm like, they all agreed, right? Like they all saw the tape. They're all aware of who's showing up. Saying
Is
some
that
of this stuff out loud is so ridiculous. It's
it's the
amazing.
power of it. Honestly, that would be, if that did happen, hilarious. Like if you really showed up on set and they were like, "Yeah, no, we made a mistake," and they sent you
Well,
home.
well, this is
Oh,
slightly different, but I think it happened to Spencer right when he moved here because they weren't aware of his tattoo. So he got to set, booked the job, and was
oh,
sent home because they said, you know, somewhere, someone in the upper didn't know he had as many tattoos. But so anyway,
oh my God.
yeah. Luckily, I perform well and everyone likes it, and we carry on, and I have
And
not
then
been
you just
sent
go to
home.
the next one and think the exact same thing
Exact
all
same
over again.
thing.
You don't learn a thing from it, from the experience.
Jeez, right? I've only been doing this, what, 20 years, and I still think that I don't know what I'm doing when I get there. Okay, Liam, your turn. What's the most ridiculous OCD thought you've ever had?
Oh man, there's just been so many. Physical compulsions to me are kind of like the funniest. I mean,
Oh,
if
yeah, yeah. I don't think I've heard a lot about your physical ones. I mean, I know light switching and stuff like that, but
yeah, I
have
mean,
you?
there would be times when I'd be stuck at a light switch for 10 minutes, just flipping it back and
No.
yeah,
10 minutes, Liam.
yeah, yeah, just just turning the lights off and on because I didn't get it exactly right. And it wasn't the right
I
count.
know.
Then I would be saying certain things in my head. And then when I think back to that, and that was all hidden from everyone, right? So I would only do this in private. If you could have been a fly on the wall for me standing at a light switch like just flicking it over and over and saying shit. Like that is hilarious. Like, it's terrible. And it was super distressing in the moment, but it's really funny now. Um, that's my probably weirdest like physical compulsion, to be honest, was just how pervasive that one was. And then the another one, the craziest thought I had really was when in the 90s during the AIDS epidemic, I was, maybe 7 or 8 at school, and there were all the stories about, Freddie Mercury getting it, like these big celebrities were dying of it or getting it, Magic
Yeah.
Johnson. And I became convinced I was going to get HIV. I remember I got pricked by a pin in school, like a paper clip, like one of the ones with like a pointy end, and it pricked my
Yeah.
finger.
Oh no.
And I was convinced that I had just gotten
That
AIDS.
gave you AIDS.
So I like ran to the bathroom and was like washing where the pinprick was, thinking maybe I can prevent this from entering my bloodstream. And then I went home and convinced my mom to go let me get an HIV test.
No.
Um, I don't remember if they actually gave me a test, but I remember having to go to the doctor and be reassured that I did not have HIV. And it was not the only time that I became convinced I had HIV.
Do you want to talk about what you're convinced of having right now?
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so oh God, it's so sad. James Vanderbeek just died of colorectal cancer,
Yeah, that's
and
so
that was on the
sad.
heels of Catherine O'Hara dying of colorectal cancer. Now she was in her 70s, a little bit of a different story, but James Vanderbeek, is around my age, a little older than I am, but
48.
colorectal cancer is just soaring among young people. It's really
Yeah.
terrifying. They think a lot of it is tied to the plastics in our environment and in our diets. And so I had already been struggling with some digestive, like gastrointestinal issues recently, like within the last like year or so. I don't have an explanation for that, but when I saw James Vanderbeek died of colorectal cancer, I was like, so I have colon cancer. I have that now. And I spent a long time on
Have that
ChatGPT.
now. I'm sorry to hear that, Liam. That's devastating.
I know, I know. So I went on ChatGPT, which of course is a great idea, and was like talking with Chat about my symptoms and having it give me a likelihood that it could be colorectal cancer. I do now have an appointment set with the doctor, and like on the one hand, there's like the benefit of anxiety, which is that it's an activating
Motivator.
tool, right? Anxiety will make you do things that sometimes can be good for you. I mean, it will be good for me that I go to a doctor and get a checkup. And,
Yeah.
let's say on
Yeah.
the off chance that it is colorectal cancer, then thank God that I went, right? But the thing about OCD and what makes it tough is, as you say, how convincing it is that like it's not that I might have it and I should go get checked out. It's that I do have it and I need to start getting treatment for it right away. And so the first step in that is going to the doctor and having them go, yeah, you do have that, you know?
Right. Well, you could go get your you could go to a GI doctor and get some tests done that aren't related to that just because you've had signs you've had some stuff going on with your digestion. That would be an appropriate thing to do.
And to show how deep Alicia's and my friendship is now, she has sent me probiotics in the mail, which I am now taking.
Which I told him could disrupt things for a while, but I didn't know that you were having some stomach issues for the last year.
We don't need to get into the details, but the point is that I very well might have colorectal cancer.
You do not, Liam, but you
You're not supposed to
could.
tell me that. You're supposed to tell me you might not, and you can't
No,
solve it
I
right
don't
now.
like that. No, I am sorry. If you're listening and you're an expert and I am giving terrible advice right now to Liam, I am sorry, but the whole coming up with a really catastrophic, like I have cancer and then maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I have to sit with
isn't
the
that
uncertainty.
true for everyone in the world? I mean, unless you go get tested, it's like you've had digestive issues, go get yourself figured out, but don't go into it thinking you have cancer.
If this podcast did not exist, where do you think you would be right now, mentally and emotionally? Like, do you think this has helped?
I would be stenciling my back patio one square at a time, hand painting every single square in the backyard. Liam, this podcast has changed my life. Hang on, guys. I'm not trying to get emotional. I don't know. I guess in some ways it's helped me unlearn the belief that I have to show up perfect and that
Mm.
raw, honest, emotional conversations that connect people is more important than perfection ever will be. And because that is a huge thing that I battle, that alone has been life changing in that I do have something to say and share that can make an impact. And the connections I didn't know existed prior to the podcast. I mean, that is all because, of you sharing your experience with me that one fond evening in Buenos Aires that we connected over our OCD. And it's like that alone changed the course of my life. And then you called and said, let's do this. And there was zero hesitation on my end because when you're living with any kind of disorder and you don't share it, you don't allow yourself the opportunity to be open to the connection on that level. And when you're closed off and you feel like you're isolated because you are living with the shame of the disorder, it makes healing very difficult. Anybody who has OCD and is on the path of freedom, we can all admit that we all feel a little better talking to somebody or hearing their story after. And, I've been blessed to create this space with you in the privacy of my own home. And I'm learning a ton along the way about myself and how I operate, and also giving the gift to others to be able to do the same. I'm forever grateful for that.
Yeah, I think similar to you, I spent a lot of time trying to mask how I was feeling, what was going on with me
Yeah.
from everyone, sometimes even from myself. And that just didn't serve me in any way. And it probably made, in a lot of ways, friendships and relationships harder to form and to deepen. I think when you have that relationship with someone where you can share those things and say, today's a bad day, or laugh about some of the stuff that's going on in your head, it just, I just like that person so much more in that moment. It gives
Yeah.
them so much more depth, vulnerability. It's a really powerful tool,
Yeah.
and it bonds you because we've all got something. It's particularly helpful if you both have the same issue, right? OCD in our case. But yeah, I think that it's so underestimated, the power of being vulnerable.
Yeah. And there have been many moments where I doubted myself, whether it's 30 minutes prior to jumping on here and trying to come up with a million excuses of why I can't sit here and have a conversation with you, and pushing through that. I'm reminded that we are so much stronger than our thoughts, and how for so long my thoughts have been in the driver's seat. I've kind of let them win for a long time. I've let it take over and sabotage some really great opportunities. And like you said earlier, that one of the things that surprised you most about me was, that maybe I'm not as confident, or I have a lot more insecurity than I portray. And I think a lot a lot of that is due to, my OCD and those intrusive thoughts winning. And I think this podcast has been a testament to how strong we really are. And if we can pause in those moments when the thought comes up, you can't do this, you're not good, no one's gonna listen, people are thinking negative thoughts, you don't look good today, you're ugly, you're not as smart as, it's easy for me to be like, yeah, you're right, that, what am I doing, Liam? I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. And that has translated into a lot of other areas in my life, not just the podcast. Just it's been a good confidence builder, and it's been a nice test to how can you push through and in those uncomfortable moments. And on the other side is is this community, are the beautiful DMs we're getting, are the life-changing episodes that people are hearing. That's what's on the other side of me not giving into my OCD.
Yeah, think about the impact of that decision.
So, what about you? If this podcast didn't exist, where do you think did we even answer that?
I think you sort of answered it, right? That like it's been life changing. And
Yeah, I think
and
emotionally and mentally, I wouldn't be on this healing journey. As simple as that. Like, I would still be probably feeling pretty stuck.
yeah, and I think I would say the same. I would be stuck. We've talked in this podcast about how I've come a fairly long way in my OCD journey, and maybe 80% recovery, and there was that 20% that I think I sort of just assumed was always going to be with me, and that that's how it is, and this is how my life will be, and sort of just trying to find some sort of peace with that. And doing this podcast has forced me to reflect on that and say, no, I think I want to try to tackle the remaining 20%. I've gotten back into therapy as a result of doing this podcast with no CD. It has taught me so much. I mean, you learn a fair amount about OCD just through experiencing it, and
Yeah.
then going to therapy and learning about some of the mechanisms at play and all that. But to talk with actual experts or just advocates who have their own lived experience that might be slightly different from ours. I mean, I've just learned so much. And then that learning is powerful because you can apply it to your situation. Or if you're having a particularly bad phase, you can turn back to some information you've learned or some inspiration you got from someone we've interviewed. And yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've taken from it is just that I'm not as stuck anymore. I don't feel quite as like resigned to the future being the same as the present, and that you can get better. It's not linear, but you can continue to improve even when you think you've gotten as far as you could.
I love that. We have learned so much. More than we even realize, I think. Okay, what's something about you that people would never guess from listening to the podcast?
It's an interesting question because we share so much on here. I love playing sports.
Yeah, you
I
don't
joined
look
a
athletic
basketball
to
league.
me. That's surprising. That should be the one. I changed my answer. That is what surprises me most about you. Um,
He's actually capable of playing sports, but like sports was just everything. It was all I ever did. I, would get home from school, and that's what I would want to do is go out in the yard and play sports with my brothers or go into sports camps. And now, even as of, in my early 40s, I'm still trying to play sports. I play in a soccer league in the fall where I famously got into a fight, as you know, and throat punched a guy.
no, we never
And
shared that. They don't
we,
know. That got cut.
oh, they don't know about that one. Yeah, see, that would be surprising to know about me that that happened. And I'm joining an adult basketball league, and yeah, it's such an outlet for me. I love doing it, and it you know gives me this little sense still that I'm young and energetic, even though I'm not. What about you? What would
That's
people
awesome.
never guess
And
about Alicia?
you're you're present when you play sports too, and your mind isn't focused on one thing. I was gonna say similar to you. I'm athletic. I played basketball my entire life. I played varsity basketball
I
4
didn't know
years.
that. Oh my God, we got to hoop sometime.
Yeah, I know. I remember you sharing in one of the episodes that you would go and shoot hoops for like hours, and you could go inside until you made a certain amount. I was the same way. I was like, yep,
Oh
can't go
my
inside
God.
until I've made 30 in a row, 30 free throws. Yeah, basketball is my jam. I think I surprise people when I play. They're like, "Holy crap, you actually know how to play basketball." That was my number one sport, but yes, I was a big athlete. We'll be right back, but first, a message from our sponsor. The same distressing, unwanted thoughts keep playing over and over in your mind. The same rituals keep eating up your time, holding you back from enjoying your life. You've tried talk therapy before and spent session after session diving into those thoughts, trying to understand them, trying to fix them, but somehow they just get worse. And the shame piles on because you think, why isn't this working? What's wrong with me?
If this sounds familiar, here's what you need to know. You're not the problem. You're experiencing something that a lot of people with OCD experience. Getting your life back is possible because OCD is highly treatable. It just requires a completely different approach than other mental health conditions. In fact, standard talk therapy often makes OCD worse because it encourages you to analyze those intrusive thoughts or try to replace them with positive ones. But with OCD, the more attention you give the thoughts, the stickier they become. That's where NoCD comes in. NoCD provides virtual therapy designed specifically for OCD. Every single one of their therapists is extensively trained in a type of therapy called ERP, or Exposure and Response Prevention, which is the most effective treatment available for OCD. And they get the training from world-renowned OCD experts so they truly understand what you're dealing with, even the stuff that feels impossible to say out loud. In live face-to-face virtual sessions, your NoCD therapist will teach you how to take the power away from intrusive thoughts so you can live the life that you want to live. And between sessions, you'll be able to message your therapist anytime, join dozens of life support groups, and continue your progress with other expert-developed therapy tools. NoCD is also covered by insurance for over 138 million Americans, and their team makes it really simple to get started. Visit nocd.com and book a free 15-minute call. That's nocd.com to learn more and talk to someone who can help, because you deserve treatment that actually works for OCD.
What's the reassurance you still secretly want someone to give you, even though you know you're not supposed to be seeking it?
I don't like that question.
Why don't you like that question?
Because it's exposing. Um,
Oh,
and you fall for it every other day through text messages. I can't share it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding. No,
do.
I don't seek I do sometimes seek reassurance from you about like, was that good? Was that okay? Was that okay that I said that? Blah blah blah. I think
Yep.
I've gotten a little better. Yeah. And I don't ask you to take things out anymore or delete things.
You've
I'm
gotten
okay.
much better at that. You've gotten much better.
Uh,
But there was one time when you asked me, if something was good or something like that. And I was like, I'm not really supposed to answer that. That's your OCD talking. And you were like, just fucking give me this one time. And I did.
no. No,
Yes,
I did not say it like
you
that.
sure did.
I
You
need
were like, give
proof.
me this one, or you owe me one, or something.
I owe you one. But you do sneaky reassurance too, for
I
sure.
did.
I can't. I'm on my phone. I would pull it up. I would I would expose
It's
you.
probably true. It's probably true.
I feel like we do it and we don't even realize we're doing it, but we need it.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know. I
think
think
that.
I need a lot of like reassurance that I'm a good mom for my husband. I don't ask him anymore, but it does come up in my head a lot. Like, am I doing this right? Going to be, is there going to be irreversible damage that I've caused? Did I Google the other day? So, you guys, I had to get work done. I really try to minimize their screen time. I'm not a fan of it. And my son has ADHD, and I know it completely wrecks him all day. His nervous system is. Anyway, long story short, I Googled, will there be irreversible damage if I let my kids play on their devices for like 4 hours? I didn't end up letting them on there for that long,
4 hours.
but my husband was working and I had stuff to do, and I was like, "Gosh, go outside." They didn't want to go outside; they wanted a lazy day, and I was like, "Am I a terrible person for letting them just kind of binge this for once?" What about you, Liam? I don't even remember what the question
I
was. Oh, what's the reassurance that you still secretly want someone to give you?
I still want my wife to tell me I'm attractive and desirable.
Ooh,
It's
yeah, I can relate to that
I
too.
don't like admitting that, and I don't do it. I have gotten very good at noticing when I'm about to do it. It used to just be an impulse, and I didn't even think about it, right? I didn't identify that it was any particularly toxic trait. I just sort of would seek it. And
Yeah.
sometimes in sneaky ways, sometimes just overtly. And I have gotten much better at identifying it and stopping it, but it's very, very tough not to do it. I mean, it'll pop up when we're getting in bed together or whatever, and or just have a moment when maybe I'm not feeling great about myself, and I will go to seek it, and I am stopping myself, but it's very tough.
When you don't stop yourself, what does that sound like?
I we're pretty open with each other, so I, it'll often just be like pretty direct,
Yeah, do you still find me attractive?
yeah, like but I'll typically try to find a way in where it's like, do you like the beard right now? Do you like, or I'll
Mm-hmm.
say something negative about myself, hoping that
Mm-hmm.
she will refute
She'll
that,
correct you.
like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
feel like I look so tired right now. Like, oh God. And then if she's like, yeah, you need some sleep.
You're like, gosh dang it. I think that's more normal
No,
than
that one's
OCD
tough. I gotta
even.
sleep.
That yeah, but I think a lot of people, even if you don't have OCD, are gonna question that, especially as you get older and stress shows more visibly on the outside than it ever did in the past. It's like, I don't know. I think you have to be okay with your spouse not finding you attractive 24/7.
What DM from a listener has stuck with you?
It was
Stuck
one
with
of the
you?
first ones, and it was really sweet. And this woman had struggled for many years with depression. She said something that I had shared really resonated with her. She did not ever think OCD. That was never even brought up in her life. And she listened to a couple of the episodes and had the most profound aha moment. This is me. And started ERP right away. It was a similar story to mine. That one for me was like, okay, what we're doing is good. I mean, there's been so many. You guys, there have been so many great little nuggets and things. I mean, even just the other day, someone said that listening to us feels like a warm, was it like a warm hug or something?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, I'm not a cold-hearted bitch. I'm a warm hug. That's amazing.
Aw, that's so cute. I
Yeah.
like that. My favorite is the mom who reached out to us because her son
Oh,
has
yes. Pandas.
pandas, which
Hmm.
is strep mediated OCD. These are typically kids who get strep, and the next day they wake up with acute OCD. It's an odd phenomenon. And so this kid has struggled really badly with OCD. Um, and she reached out to us because they were listening to the podcast together. I ended up getting to FaceTime with him, and he asked me a bunch of questions about my experience with OCD and the tools that I use. And then he asked
That
that
is so
question
cute.
that had both you and me really emotional, where he said, what would you tell your 8-year-old self, if you could go back in time? And that question really made me think. And it was such a smart question from him. And yeah, that
Yeah, it
one
was a good
stands
one.
out to me. You have to say something nice about yourself. We're going to do rapid fire here in a moment just to give people stuff to debate and know about us. But you, before we do that, have to say something nice about yourself. Are you struggling? Where are you going? Where did you go?
Bye. No, I'm just kidding. Um, you guys can't see. I just got up and walked out of the room. I have to say something nice about myself. Ugh.
I have to do this in therapy, by the way, and it's a good practice. She makes me do it at the end of every ERP session where, that can be very tough. You're going through ERP, you're doing these exposures, it's scary, it causes your stress levels to go up. And then at the end, she makes me say something nice about myself, something that
Mm.
you would say to someone else that you're never really willing to say to yourself. And so I think it's a good
Yeah, okay.
practice.
I have a huge heart. I am a big empath. I care deeply about people and their feelings, and I really don't like to see people in pain or suffering or people whose feelings are hurt in the moment. I want to fix it. I want to repair, and I'm thoughtful. So if I think that there's something I can do for someone that will make a difference, whether that's loan something of mine or provide a service for free or yeah, I think I've walked in a lot of shoes. I've been a lot of different people in my life. Lots of multiple personalities. No. Um, I think my childhood, I just experienced a lot. We had money growing up, we didn't have money growing up. With the substance abuse and physical and mental abuse that I experienced, there was a lot I was able to tap into, which I think ultimately led me to be a very empathic person.
You are an empath. We've seen that multiple times in this podcast where you're in tears because of someone else's pain or mine, and um,
Yeah,
it's really
I can
nice. It is a
feel it.
very nice
Yeah.
quality.
All right, you're up.
I have to say something nice about myself.
Yes, I'm excited for this.
You know that me saying these is an exposure, right?
Yeah, I think it is
That
for me too. By the way, this was his question.
What if
This
it was
is
just a
your
sneaky
idea.
way for me to be like, I am fucking amazing. I am devoted. I am a devoted person. So whether that's being devoted to my kids as a dad, devoted to my wife as a husband, devoted as a friend,
I
I,
love that.
you know, pick people in life that, I want to give myself to, and I do that in a very full way. So, being as present and patient as I can be with my kids, being as uh, loving and caring to my wife as possible, being a friend who supports my friends.
Yeah,
I put a lot into that. So there, I'll say that about myself.
I would agree with you on that. From my experience being your friend, you are a very devoted friend. And to your work ethic and everything else that you put your heart into, it shows. So, okay,
Thank you.
we are going to do a fun little rapid fire this or that.
Okay.
Buckle up. And if you're in your cars, buckle up.
Literally.
You should already be buckled, or that really annoying sound does not stop beeping. Do your kids buckle when they get in the car? Do you have to tell them 10 times?
Mine do buckle actually.
Dude, mine are going through this phase where I'm like, what is going on with you? Why are you sitting on the middle console right now? Like, what is happening? Sit down. Okay. Sweet or salty?
Salty every time. How about you?
I am a sweet with salty on top. Like, give me dark chocolate with some salt on top. I want both. But if I had to
Okay.
pick one, it would always be sweet. I have never been a salty person. No
So
pun
like
intended.
breakfast is it like pancakes, French toast, that kind of thing, or what are you doing for breakfast then?
No, I go savory, but I do like a sweet side. So, like, I'll usually do like eggs. I do a high protein breakfast. And then if I'm feeling, I don't know, like I want to treat myself, I'll do something sweet. But that's not what I gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I guess both. I like both.
This
You
is
said
a
salty?
demonstration of how you and I cannot do rapid fire.
This is supposed to be rapid fire. That's amazing. Oh yeah. Even the next question too. Coffee or tea? Both.
You both for that? Okay, definitely not tea. Tea is trash water. Tea is if
What?
you had a trash can, poured water into it, and then took the
Trash.
water out of it. That's what
Bro,
tea would
you're
taste
just not
like.
making the right tea. You don't drink tea at night, like after a meal for digestion or sleep or stress. You don't do like a lavender chamomile.
Okay, chamomile I will do. Chamomile, I agree, is a great tea. As a general rule, I'm going coffee over
Yeah.
tea almost
Oh,
every
I
time.
love coffee. Yes,
Beach
coffee,
or mountains?
100%. Well, I live at the beach. I live a mile from the beach. I'm going to pick beach, but I do love the mountains as well. So, beach.
Yeah, I'm going beach. beach as
Yeah.
well. I just think mountains are great, but looking at the ocean, there's just something about looking at the ocean that calms the nervous system. So I'm going to go beach as well.
Early bedtime or late night?
Early bedtime. Always. I love bed. Bed is underrated. How about you?
Oh, same. Are you kidding? What do you mean? I go to bed at like 8 p.m.
If I don't have to wake up the next day for, school or whatever, then actually I will stay up kind of late. I'll stay up till like 11:30, and then I'm done.
Okay, shower or bath?
Shower. I'm efficiency over, unless the bath is a cold plunge, then I'm all about it. What
I'm
about you?
both. I love a good Epsom salt bath. I will soak for days in that thing. Cooking at home or takeout?
Takeout every time. Oh my God, I hate meal planning. I actually like cooking-ish, but takeout for
But what do you
convenience
guys do
anytime.
most of?
We cook at home mostly just for, financial reasons. But if that weren't a concern, I would do takeout all the time.
Really? You're not
Yeah.
concerned about quality of food and all the sauces and the sodium?
Of course you went there with it. Yeah, yeah. I would want to order
I know the
from.
convenience. I think takeout is an amazing treat. We do not. I have friends that get takeout 3, 4 times a week, and I'm like, how? How? I just, it like feels so, it feels like a lot. I think when I get takeout, I eat a lot more than I normally do, and I really
Mhm.
indulge, so it feels like a lot of heavy food.
To me, it's just being lazy.
Okay. Um, Jeans or sweats?
Sweats. 100% of the time.
Sweats.
I'm in sweats 90% of the time.
Are you in sweats
What
right
about you?
now?
Yeah,
You are?
100%. Yeah. I love sweats.
Yeah, I love sweats too. I don't know anyone who doesn't love sweats. Music or podcasts?
Actually, music right now. For a long time, it was podcasts, and I don't have enough long drives because I work from home, and I want to like really get into a podcast. Now, of course, if you're talking the OCD Confessional, I'm going to listen to that over music every time. But music
Hey.
now, music now being so customizable that you can like create your own radio station. I love music. It can get me into a different headspace. I'll dance to it. It's music for me for the time
I'll
being. How about
dance
you?
to it. Do you dance by
Yeah.
yourself?
Oh yeah, absolutely. While I'm cooking or something, rocking out.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. Um, what is that song? What's that song that goes, oh, I just in your arms tonight. How's it go?
I just died. Alicia knows I can't sing that lyric because of the. Oh my God, that's really funny. Wow, that is a throwback. I just
But
lied in your arms tonight.
must have been okay. I had to get him there. He couldn't sing a song that said the word die.
Yeah.
Um, all right, I'm gonna go podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I walk and listen. I clean and listen. I probably listen to too many podcasts. It's all contradicting. I'm like, oh, this person said this, but this person said this. And no, I like some mystery. Um, I like some health podcasts. Yeah. Okay, alone time or social time?
Alone time. Alone time, like 99% of the time. I love alone time. I love alone time. I will sit and stare at a wall, and it's like the happiest I've ever been. I don't need any other input.
Oh my gosh, why is
What-
that so funny to picture? Just like him staring at a wall.
I really will, literally.
Um, yeah, I'm with you. So I love to socialize if if everything is perfect. So if I look good that night, if my hair is cooperating, if the people I'm actually wanting to be around are there, if I've had enough sleep the night before, if my house is clean, if everything is perfect, I can go into a social setting and actually enjoy it, which I'm trying to work on. Trust me. Look, I say these things, I can hear myself as much as you guys can, and I know how ridiculous that sounds, but it is something that is very real on my end. My husband is the kind of guy where he's like, "Hey, so and so invited us over. Let's go." And I'm like right now,
Yeah,
like right
not a
now.
chance. Not
What?
a chance. No, I need 5 days, 5 business days warning.
100%. And then don't
Yeah,
get me to agree and give you a yes or no 5 days prior because I don't know leading up to that
right,
day if I'm going to be happy that day or not. So
right.
this is a lot of stuff going into this whole am
Yeah,
I
we
leaving
can
the house or
pencil.
not?
We're gonna pencil it in. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pencil it
Yeah.
in, and we're gonna see
That
how we're
sounds
doing that day.
fun. We'll see how I feel when I get there. And I've actually vocalized that now more than being like, yeah, sounds good, I'll be there. No. I just say, yeah, I would love to. I'm gonna see how I'm doing that week. I feel like people know
Yeah.
me well enough now that it's like, well, okay. Her mental health's in the tank. She's not here. Okay. Um, but I do, all jokes aside, I do love to socialize. Um, but I also very much value my alone time and recharging is huge.
Yeah.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Uh, Dogs. My thing about dogs and cats always is the world ends, there's an apocalypse, and you've got a cat. The cat is going to eat you. If you've got a dog, the
Dogs
dog is
eat
going to
people
let you eat
too.
it. No,
No.
my dog would just be like, all right, dude, I know that I'm all that's left. You can eat me. And I would just die alongside the dog. But the dog would sacrifice itself, and the cat would be like, I'm gonna claw your eyeballs out and eat them
You know
because
what's
that's
fun about this conversation, Liam, this topic is that we will never know. We'll never
no, it's
know.
true. We have to live with the uncertainty.
My cat may or may not eat me if there is an apocalypse. Um,
Especially when the cat finds out that you've thought about stabbing it.
yes. Are you gonna tell her?
Yeah, if that keeps
I
me alive.
You guys, I have two of the most loving orange tabbies. They're sisters. We got them for my son when he was on his 6th birthday. He had been wanting cats since he was 3, like 2, 3. I want a cat, I want a cat, I want a cat. I said, if you turn 6 and you still are asking for a cat, we'll get you a kitten. My husband shot a commercial with this girl, and he sent me a text. He said, she recommends this cat adoption agency. We should look into it. And I knew that I wanted to surprise him on his actual birthday. So the odds of and timing had to be perfect of getting this cat because they don't release them until they're 8 weeks old. So I look up this agency that this gal had recommended to my husband, and sure enough, two sisters, orange tabbies, 8 weeks old, or they were going to be 8 weeks on Smith's exact birthday, the day they could
Oh my
release
god.
them. Yes. So I messaged him. I said, I think these are my girls. I need them. My son's birthday is September 27th. She goes, oh my gosh, we can release them that day. This could be perfect. Fill out an app. They came, they did a little tour of the house to make sure that I wouldn't be a psycho that hurt my cat. So, little did they know. um,
You hit all the
and
nerves.
Yeah, we surprised them. It was the best day ever, best surprise ever. We've had them now for 3 years, and they are incredible. So I've always had a dog though, so I love both. I am a cat
I mean,
lady
I
and a
love
dog
cats.
lover.
Cats are cool. Very cool animal. And just, if you're
But
forcing me to
if the
choose, it's
world
cat.
ends, they're not your friend.
No, they're gonna kill you.
I think that wraps it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this slightly odd episode of Liam and I confessing some more things.
I like
I
this.
have
I think this
fun.
should be a regular thing where we're just checking in with each other. I mean, I obviously love having the experts on, the advocates, and learning that way, but
Yeah,
I
I
also love
agree.
our time. Yeah.
I do too. And if you guys loved it too, let us know so we can do this again or not. If you guys thought this was a big waste of an hour, please let us know. Um, all right.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you for all your support with this podcast. It's been quite a journey on our end and a learning experience. And hearing from all of you, the episodes that you liked and what you've learned from it and what you've gotten from it, it really does mean the world to us. Thanks for listening to another episode of the OCD Confessional. Be sure to follow this show so you get new episodes. You can subscribe to us on YouTube or find us on Instagram and TikTok at the OCD Confessional.